Well,
I couldn't ask for better, though.
you get what you ask for, I guess. Huh?
They're so much fun.
Yeah, especially when they're that.
My oldest is born 2 days after Thanksgiving,
Uh-huh.
and then my youngest is born on Valentine's Day.
That's so funny.
I'm born 2 days after Christmas.
Oh, really? 4 days before Christmas.
Yeah.
That's me, yeah.
Usually 4 before Christmas.
Uh-huh.
You said go ahead and torch the base.
Yeah. Unless it's cool, Leah. And you can take it home with you and put it above your bed.
So I usually pour mine over a paint stick or like a flat surface, so it is going to be doing that big dirty pour. So usually I start off with a piece. Alcohol is going to come first because we did put some alcohol in there so that it sells. And then the closer you are to the surface, the more color that you're going to get.
If you mist your base first, it'll really break open a lot more too.
If you do what?
Just mist right where you're gonna dump
Oh,
the
okay.
epoxy. It'll really get
Oh, he's on it.
And you can each get 2 cups. So, and then Dom is going to show you guys how you can just pour it out of your cup. It's more of the ribbony effect.
Oh, fancy, Dom.
Fancy, huh?
You fancy, huh?
Not full.
So these cups, you already mixed the colors in the cup where you
Yep.
the dirty pour of all 3.
And you don't want to mix them all together. You
Right.
Just keep them.
Layer them.
And I would start doing it right now because it's getting pretty warm there. So.
Each person gets 2 cups.
Put your hand in her. Ooh, yeah, they are getting in.
Yeah, you can pour over the stick, and or you can dip your stick in it. Really, anyway, or you just dump it out on there. Any type that you like to try.
Yeah, boy.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sure. I'm so sorry.
Oh, Dom. Yep, so if you get it real low on there and then let it pour off of your stick. There you go. Beautiful. Gorgeous.
Really not trying.
Just worried about getting her hair in the epoxy.
But if it does, it's not.
Tilt your top side down a little bit. There you go.
That's probably why
I mean, she started way back here. Why not start closer?
that's what I did. It really just, it depends.
I
How you
poured
pour.
all mine onto this.
She had a lot more product on hers.
Yeah. So I poured the whole entire cup back farther, and so it was just sitting on the board. And so then it was when I pulled it off, it was marbling those colors more.
And it gives you, like, you can go longer with it because it has more paint that it can pour off, and it won't all just like pour off the front. It'll pour like.
Scrape with a stick to get the last.
Sure, yeah.
Can I use your board, or do you need your board? I'll do the same.
Yeah, you can do the same effect with your mixing stick.
How much coverage are we looking for?
Do you want another glove,
The other day
Liam?
we were doing
Probably
a lot less.
not.
As much as you'd like. Honestly, you can cover your whole board if you want to, or you can do little veins if you'd like as well. Really just up to you and what you're.
Yeah, it's just the patina. You're not really trying to make a pattern or do any specific veins. You're kind of just wanting to see that blue in there. So there's no really right way to do the patina. You can add different veins in it. You can do alcohol, stuff like that.
Yeah, of course.
Do I pour it all on this board first?
Sure. Mm-hmm. And just like yesterday, with the dirty pour, you want to go low. Keep it really vertical with your board. Pour off of the, just that way any like globs, so you don't get a big old round glob, and then you can get it pouring off evenly. Yep. Now go. Low. There you go. Yep. And a little bit lower. There you go. Oops, that's okay. And then just put your board more horizontal so it's actually pouring off. Yep. More horizontal, just as you go on. Yep.
Make sure since you it was.
Keep your top side down. Top side. Other side. Yeah, there you go. Yep, and you're almost done, so keep pulling, keep pulling. Beautiful. Now pull that all the way off so it doesn't drip. Like that. That's all right. You can always take your brush and sort of brush that out. That looks beautiful though. You take your brush and you can go right here.
That's
Brush that off so that it looks a little bit more natural.
Yeah,
You know, as opposed to like that globby look right there. Yeah.
When I first tried, I definitely did not have enough.
Are you just dirty pouring more now? Yeah. I want to play. I like it when it's mixed with the copper too. I feel like
Yeah.
it makes it look really natural.
Oh, this is already alcohol.
I thought you had turquoise.
You did.
We did.
It just didn't show up.
I think it just blends a lot with the.
Yeah. When you add alcohol in there, then it will like blend really well too. Like really fast. Because it makes it thinner. How do we do over here? Yeah, baby.
I'm trying to do what you showed me yesterday in a little
Dirty
different
pour.
technique,
Right.
but I thought about that all night last night.
Did you? Yeah. Just keeping in mind that the more alcohol you spray, the more divots you're going to cause. And
I
then,
was trying to get it to spread out
oh yeah, yeah. Looks great though.
a little more.
Cool. So we're gonna spray, paint it. We're gonna spray, and that will disperse those. Yeah. Any questions on that, dirty? Or you just
You see you off, Ron.
I'm gonna grab some gloves. Okay. So what do you want to try first? Do you want to master that dirty pour like we did, like we were messing with yesterday? This stuff. Yeah. This stuff's pretty thin. So what we can do.
Do that right here. I'm just racing
Yeah.
off the stick.
So what we're gonna do is Lee's the master at this. I'm gonna try. She's really like the go-to guy for that.
I did her board technique right here.
Yeah, the board is really cool. I think. So this is what I was doing first. And really like because everything looked like coral. And what I was doing is just keeping it lifted up too high. So if we really want to master that, we need to keep it to your board. We'll start there. What do have plenty of product on there.
And do you want a fresh cup or this? What's left?
We'll
in this
just
cup?
use what's left in here, so it won't be a lot, but we'll just pour it out. Kind of like to make a little, like, everything that you make a little pattern on here, when it pours out, it will be like a variation of that. So then I'll try to get it like even on there so that it's as wide as I want it. So right about there. Okay, let's go this way so that she can see. If
Yeah,
you want to kind of,
Yeah, I can see. Go
can
ahead.
you see? Okay, so pouring off first, and then go on your board. Sorry, I can't help but look at the top.
Okay.
And do you see how you can see it pouring off?
Yeah.
Just cardboard, but just go just barely above it. And as that, which I'm doing a terrible job of, as that's coming off, getting thinner, we can start moving that board forward. I'm gonna leave you some so that you can try it.
Okay.
But do you see, like, I'm tipping it?
Get that last bit off.
Yeah, so that just gives us a longer working time. Anytime you lift a little bit higher to create armies like that, do you see how it will break?
Yeah.
And then it's gonna start pouring off in weird places like that. So we want to avoid that. We want to go in slow. And then anytime it's really, you're gonna get cells. You're just trapping air underneath there. So the higher you go, the more chance of cells. Fine if you want it. You just want to be really controlled and methodic about it. Okay. So I want for you if you want to try maybe like this corner over here, and just let it pour off first. And this is exotherming, so we're gonna like this is.
Some more on there.
Otherwise, we're gonna lose all this. So I'm gonna try to crack. Okay, go for it. That's okay. First, there you go. Yep. And you want to go really even and smooth with it. I know it's kind of weird. I want to like grab it and help you, but I won't.
Faster, slower, what do you think?
A little faster, go lower. Tip your board horizontal. Yep, not all the way. I mean, you just want to do it, you know, as you need it. There you go. Keep going lower. Did you see that area you're trapping under there? You didn't do that? So, not a bad idea. Like that, my suggestion would be to spray that alcohol first. So let me, yep, but I got it. So I'm going to spray a little bit where you're now, and then keep pouring. There you go. Oh, it's getting really nasty. Yeah, so it'll do it here where we're pulling this, and it can kind of show you with that alcohol. Sorry, your board, so you got this? Maybe because it's fucking sticky.
Finish it off.
Why not? Okay.
Okay.
And that stuff is pretty hot in that cup, so it's just gonna melt. That's completely ruined. I don't do anything with that now. But if we go to pour it out,
Good stuff.
do you know how this got like kind of stringy at the end? It's gonna do that. Pour it on the table and see what we can do with it. Because that'll help it. Do you remember when we pour it to a surface, it'll help it cool to that surface temp? Okay, grab the bobby up there. Yeah. Yeah. We don't want that. We don't want this. So now with, and this is kind of thin, but we'll try with that dirty pour off the stick like we were doing yesterday. Thing. Want to stir off? Go on. See how you can kind of pull that? Same way. And the more vertical you get it with your board, the better chance you have of not trapping a bunch of air and getting weird stuff. And then if you're running out, do you see? And then it'll give you more color.
So we're not worried about different striations in base color like that because it's gonna blend when we hit the alcohol anyway.
Yeah, so like if we sprayed, do you see how I sprayed alcohol over here? And do you
Oh,
see
yeah, it's
how
completely
it's like, yeah, so we're not at all. That's the least of our worries. We just want to get our pattern down. Start off the board, let it drip off. Okay, now go. Yeah. And don't tap, don't need to. Just go slow and pull. Mhm. There you go. And that little tiny bit probably won't get clear across the board, but it'll get you a little ways. So,
Yeah, it's down to nothing but
yeah.
the string.
All right, so you can pull it off. But do you see how beautiful and natural like that looks right there? And these edges even, how you're not this kind of weird shit. You're getting like a very even sheet on there. That's how you're gonna do the dirty pours to get those thicker veins. Okay, and what else did they, oh, and then the pouring out, that's pretty self-explanatory, and we can't do it now obviously because our too set up. But you can kind of mess with it too, and every time you have excess colors, like have some of this copper still, along with this. This is really ideal to come up and just dirty pour across and make like that varied, yeah. It's gonna break, and that's okay because it still looks natural, but you just want to keep an eye on that so that you're not having, what'll happen is you'll have a thick stripe and then you'll be running out and you forgot to put down, and so then you'll end up with two little lines that go off, and you just really don't want that. So I would keep messing with it, just kind of run a little of that copper back through because we got a lot of that blue. Yeah. And just practice that dirty pour. You're more than welcome. Let me know if you need any other assistance. That whole cup melted. Hot. Yeah, boy. Did you put some copper in there? Yeah.
Well, this was scrapped, but I stripped off the table.
Oh, yeah. That ribbon is my new favorite everything. I love it so much.
What?
The ribboning. With the multiple colors in it. I know. Need some music in here. And everybody's concentrating. Does Dom love his piece?
Yeah,
Yeah?
I think so.
Good. I love the big, like, wide, dirty pours. The big old cells. So good.
So that was the effect we were going for. Mine is a long ways from that.
Oh no, I missed one. So don't.
Sure.
Yep, you can do that.
Does copper patina have accent sprays? Just the dirty pour? But you can spritz it with alcohol to make it like that patina look, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Or like the hammered copper.
So if you want to spray more, you'll hit the alcohol. And we didn't blend it just yet because there's probably still alcohol on the surface.
Because we added it with those
So
colors.
alcohol, this, the whole thing.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I do like your
The
copper.
accent colors with the alcohol?
You got scared with the copper. What happened?
Got scared?
Yeah, you're just like doing it on the edges. I ran a whole thing.
Well, because I didn't have that much. And I thought
Oh.
it's only going to last that long. And I tried to grab this much over here, and look at this. This is totally goopy and.
Oh yeah,
It's
it's
just-
because the blue is mixed with it. That's alright. I think it looks really good. So when you do your sprays, you kind of want to shoot up, and because if you do it really concentrated on there, it's just you're just wetting the whole top, and you're gonna make everything look really even. So if you want like that look where you're gonna see your spritzes, then shoot it up high
Let it
and
fall.
back. Yeah. Just like you would do your accent sprays, but do it over the whole thing just to get that look. And when you torch it, it will stay, because you're not going to over torch it later. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and then I suggest instead of like really coating the whole thing, you just like do a couple and then let that dry and then do a couple more. And then that will like help get to that copper look.
You're not going away right away.
Don't worry about it. So what's going to happen is after all of this alcohol dries, then we'll hit it with the torch and it'll be just fine. I think it looks good.
Alcohol's moving.
Yeah. You got a lot on there because you had some with your colors, then you were spraying it before you were moving it. Anytime you add alcohol, you want to make sure that you get it completely dissipated off there, or it can cause a soft cure. So just try not to add too much when you're doing it on like your countertops
Trying
and
to
stuff.
get it to move, but not like that.
Yeah. I think it looks great. I think it looks really natural and beautiful. Dude, I know. Go look. Yeah.
Probably 'cause this one is still back.
She's pulling your stick wrong.
Still did it.
That looks good. No, she said because you held your stick back pretty far, and so then you have like less control at your tip.
You hold a pencil back really far and you're trying to draw like.
Mhm. Oh. boy. How'd we do over here? Good. Yeah, do you love it?
In there.
Yeah.
I'm playing around with the bigger bubbles and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I see if it top.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Doing it because sometimes if you do it like too late or too much, they'll stay, and then you don't got to do that clear coat over it, which you're gonna do anyway. But yeah.
Cause like you guys' countertop over here, how it has blues and stuff. Really nice. I'm like, I really like that.
Mm-hmm. That thing has like 1,000 layers on it. It's
Does it?
crazy. Yeah.
Like I want it to be up, look like it's deep.
Yeah.
And then when you put the clear coat on it,
Then it'll look really.
sprayed it. Big bubbles in there.
Mm-hmm.
Let it kind of come out and spray it again.
Yeah. Great. Carla never let me know if we're live. I'm assuming that we are.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Hey guys, like 45 minutes later, thanks for joining us on Countertop Epoxy today. We just finished up copper patina samples, and we're doing some really cool stuff later today and this afternoon with those big tables that we started yesterday. So, with that copper base, and then we dirty poured a couple of blues on there, light blue. And then the turquoise color. We added alcohol dirty pour. We poured it over sticks. We poured it out of the cup. We did some dirty pours off of, like your paintbrush or your stick, just like we were kind of doing yesterday with those larger veins. And then we're spraying with alcohol to get some really cool effects in there. If you haven't been to classes yet, go ahead and check out that beginner and advanced class online. You can go to countertopepoxy.com and go under classes. Next one is in February, and we do hold one every single month. And this class that we're doing today is a samples class. This one's a little small, so you get a lot of one-on-one time with instructors. Really take those samples so that you go to the large countertops, you know exactly what you're doing and how you want your pattern to be. All of our products can be found at countertopepoxy.com. A lot of our countertops come in kits, just white marble, black marble, copper patina. They'll have everything you need in there to create this look on your counter at home. Looks like we're bringing up the big things we got going on here, Dom. Looks like he's bringing out wall epoxy. Is true metal?
No.
Just wall.
I'm probably gonna be
So if
doing
you
the,
guys
wood
want to
grain
get,
and with the wood grain tool.
Oh, perfect.
So I'd need the grout tape, which I have right there,
Okay.
and then those black trowels.
Okay, so today we're going to go ahead and do our wood grain with our wall epoxy. We have a special tool here that creates a pattern, and you roll it on after you put that wall epoxy down. We can create effects with some sprays, tape, all of that to make it really natural. Or as unnatural as you want it to be as well. You can stick some colors in there. I was like, I can help too.
Oh, you've got your headset going.
Oh, that's right. I can multitask. It gets awkward if I'm just trying to 5 hours. That one go in, I grabbed one for you.
Well,
I'll trade you.
bad corner.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. They're just going to go ahead and sand those edges down because it makes a less sharp angle so that the epoxy can sit on there really well. With that wall epoxy, it is the consistency of peanut butter, so it is a little thicker. And typically you don't have a ton of edges for like the edge of your wall to deal with. But safe, sorry. And it's good practice if you're going to be doing edges on your MDF boards for your countertops or tables or anything like that. Just go ahead and sand those corners and edges down. My walkie-talkie is off.
turn the little top guy.
Or my batteries are dead. Hey, back to you. I apologize. I didn't off. I don't know how much we missed, so I'll kind of walk you through what we're doing now. We are doing epoxy wood grain. So we just laid our grout tape, and basically you want to take your tool, you want to measure out your grout tape where you want it to sit, and then you want to offset your grout tape a little bit from that measurement so that when you pull it, you don't expose that line underneath. Do you want to lay yours? I'm going to go over there. And, yeah. Or, sorry, here at this first. No. Looks like we're doing aged bronze as our base and burgundy as our accents for that wall epoxy. He did mix the hardener in with the wall epoxy. And now he's adding his color. He's going to take his paddle and mix it to a consistency of peanut butter. This is the only one that we don't do a time. We do a consistency for our resin. Leah's adding a little bit of alcohol just to help those powders stay in the bucket and not in Dom's space. So it's always good. You don't want to add too much when you're doing that just because it can kind of mess with the consistency. If you've always wanted to try wall epoxy and never got the chance to, go ahead and join us at one of our classes at countertopepoxy.com. You can look up the classes. We hold them every month. I'll just keep saying this till you all sign up over and over. Thanks for joining us today. We really appreciate you taking the time to watch our video. We're hoping that it's super helpful for you. He's saying that he will mix it once in between this mix just to make sure that everything is fully combined, same as you would do with your countertop epoxy. What? No, he tried, but it didn't work. It was too thin by that time. I wouldn't worry too much about it.
I wouldn't towards that too much. It's probably already getting pretty set up right now.
It's working. It's okay.
You're gonna flash cure it and then it's gonna wrinkle. That's why he's telling you that. All right. Oh, perfect. Do you still have the tool? Should I just guess? Yeah, I would love one. Thank you so much. Just getting that stick mix and then remixing it to make sure that everything, once again, is fully combined. You're going to get that over and over. We just want to really emphasize the importance of that when you're working with resin. So she's saying that right now we're going to be troweling this on our boards as thin and smooth as possible with wall epoxy. You don't really want it thick when you're doing the pattern. She said, don't really worry about your outlines right now. We're going to be pulling those up later, so it's okay to cover them. I always wanted to try it. Okay. I'll just go. That's right. I always says in like some cool like puzzle pattern, and I'm always like, wow, that's so cool. How are we doing on Instagram? Any
I know, I
questions?
get focused, I don't smile.
Focus.
When you do a grout line tape, you will.
Go grab some more trowels. Thanks.
Sounds good.
Thank you. I'll share with Jamie. Is it off again? No, it's on.
That's why,
It's okay. We can do a couple.
Yeah. That's all right.
This will go across like about 40 something.
Really?
Can we? It's too late.
Or you can just do those ones and work it.
Let's go. We'll just go here.
Not trying to complicate it.
I think.
you can also go around that edge after you spread out your piece because you're going to have like chunks of it on your side. Scrape the outside and you can add it to your piece.
She said that as soon as you're done scraping the top, you can go around and scrape the outside to the top of your piece and work that in as well. You want to get this really, really thin and super smooth, as smooth and thin as possible. And you're just working that in there. Don't worry about those grout lines. It's no problem.
Right now, honestly, it doesn't really matter because we aren't just going over this. We've got any like type of like strokes or
He's asking any strokes or patterns in it is a problem, and she said no, because we're going to be going over that with our wood grain tool, so you're not really going to see that. You don't want to worry too much about that. The most important thing is just to get it thin and even on there so that it's not thicker in one area, because when you do your wood grain tool and you go back through, it's thicker in one area, then it's going to squeeze out and mess up your pattern. So I've got a lot on here. Yeah. It's okay to coat the whole thing and then take a bunch off just to make sure that it's fully coated.
Once we spread our accent,
You'll only see it where the grout is.
do our base,
She said that. The reason why you want to keep it super thin is because when you go to use a wood grain tool, if there's too much, it will gum up and you won't get as good of a pattern as if you kept it really thin. We're just trying to help you. That's what she's saying. But she wasn't originally teaching. Levi was. She probably could today.
You can always add a little bit more if it's too thin.
Like broadcast it up here is not having too many thin spots, so if you do want to grab some more, you guys can. So should it be about like that?
Just about. I probably need a little bit more like right here. You don't want too much.
Till almost, or like a little bit after 10.
Just try and get the first couple spaces thinned out as possible before you go on.
When you're teaching this part, do you want to wear the mic?
Yeah, because
So
I
that,
obviously don't even need more, I don't think.
because I'm just repeating what you say, but since you're not sick, if you want to wear the mic, you can.
Just gotta keep
I mean, I
pulling it,
can.
working it.
Yeah. I'm going to pass this mic off to Leah for a little bit so she can talk about this wood grain, just so that I'm not repeating everything that she said. That seems a little bit unnecessary. So, 1 second.
Probably right. Hello.
And he did say it is achievable whether you do floor or countertop. So we know that we do it. We can get together at some point.
Yeah.
He says he said even doing it with countertop. I said, what about her walking on top? He goes, she'd have to be walking on top of our flooring, so she'll just have to be careful.
Will it sell with
He said it's possible, so I'm assuming yes.
We're going today.
Good. If you, after you are done with the top of your piece, you can go ahead and scrape with your trowel the side of the piece. You'll have a lot of extra, and then that will seal your edges as well. No, I think you're good. Yeah. It's going.
Good. We're gonna have so many people in the live stream asking how to get that Dominic Higgins look.
You want to try and get it as smooth as possible. Yours is really smooth. Like, that is perfectly fine. Yep. Epoxy everywhere.
If I drop it out, it ruined me.
Yeah. So this is our wall epoxy right now, and we are going to be making a wood grain with it. So right now we taped off our grout lines with grout tape. We measured with our wood grain tool, which is right here. We measured the width of the wood grain tool, taped off sections across the board, and then we made what looks like wooden planks. After we do our wood grain, we're going to pull off our tape, and you'll be able to see it'll be different wood grain patterns on each of the different planks of wood. So, thank you for joining. I think you're good. Do you want me to do the wood grain first one?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. Oh yeah, sorry. Who still needs a wood grain?
Ronnie, thank you very much.
Yep. I got I think everyone can use their own. We have like hundreds of these things, so. Maybe. If I don't break it.
Oh, she broke it.
Yeah. I bet the mic's just like picking up me like ripping this apart. What? Uh-oh. It's about done. Sweet. Is there one on this side?
Yeah, I think there's one right here.
And here? Okay. So there is one right there? I don't know if there is. I don't
Unless I took it off. I'm pretty sure I put one there.
think so.
Guess not. Nope.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys kind of how this wood grain pattern works in this tool. So everywhere that you have a grout line, you're going to be picking up your wood grain tool and moving it so it's not continuing through your whole pattern. So I'll just do this one. So right here, I'd start up here, and as you pull, you're going to rock this, and then you're going to stop. And then you're going to start at a different spot, and as you go down, so that's going to be, so you're not going to have the same pattern on the same plank. So it's essentially like you're having different planks of wood. If you have like a full spot that isn't taped like we do right here, you can just go down and you can just keep rocking it and moving with the pattern of the wood grain. Yeah.
Yeah, if you had too much product on there, all it's going to do is just...
It would just pull everything. You wouldn't get that pattern at all. So
I think yours might...
and the best part is if you screw it up, you can just trowel it again and trowel it flat again and do it again.
Then I'll just pass around the burgundy after we get all that in there.
Pushing versus pulling, same thing.
With a little bit of pressure and you're really just kind of pulling and rocking that.
I mean, I can push up here versus pulling.
I would pull rather than, I mean, you can, but that might be pushing your product. So here, I mean, it's just kind of personal preference. I like to pull it just so I could rock it easier, because pushing I feel like might be hard and you might be digging product down, but it's all up to you.
I should have started at the top, and I'm afraid I'm not getting into my second board here if I push one and pull the rest.
You had a lot in the middle there. You're good. So if you notice that you are really thick,
Am I too thick?
I think so.
Okay. Do it over.
Yep. You can just trowel it smooth and try it again.
Smooth this up then.
And don't we need to like spritz it and then like kind of run it over the trowel again to get that base to kind of come up, or is that?
I've seen him do that one time.
Did it work very well?
Now that you see how it's supposed to work, it makes sense why you don't want to be
Super thick.
Too much.
Yeah. And I find it easy when you're in between your lines that we taped off, if you go a little bit over the one that you're about to go on, so that you don't just have a little blank spot in between your tape pieces. Yeah, depends on how much you want to put on it, but he sometimes will douse it.
I'm gonna put brown on it as well.
Is anyone having a hard time on your piece?
Yeah, I definitely had excess product on mine, so you can see like the drag marks, but you can always just take some off and redo it. Maybe I kind of want a little bit of gold, so
Do it.
I think it'll look pretty good.
Do it up. .24 karat magic in the air.
This one's super contrasted.
It'll be cool though, because those different layers will show when we sand it. They'll expose them. So Dom up here, after he did his wood grain tool, I know you guys are still working, you can't add accents on top of this, because when you sand it down, it's going to expose, first it'll expose our aged bronze that we did, but then you'll have accents in it of the gold, burgundy, and brown that he did. But you can do any color that you really want to. No, I think it's good. Yeah. Heck yeah. How's it going? Yeah. I just went with mine. Like mine still has a ton on it. I didn't have to take any of mine off. You can, it comes off of the tool, like this silicone piece, and you can clean it too if you want to.
It's on later because she was teaching that section, so
What happened? Hello.
Let's try that.
Was it like super loud?
Yeah, it just gets like anytime it brushes on anything.
Oh, it's like.
Let me know if that gets a little crazy. I hung it on her string on her hoodie.
I will try and walk very carefully. No, you're good.
It's like you're pulling too much.
It's hard that you're like going at an angle too. Oh, sorry.
So should I start up here?
Yeah. And then I'd go, yep. And I'd go a little bit past your, yep. A little bit past your tape. I mean, it looks good. Mine did that in a few spots too. Well, Dom's. A tool? Oh yeah. Oh, you already did your wood grain. Okay. Sorry, Dom. I kind of like took over your piece. Is everyone feeling more confident in this? Oh yeah, awesome. No, that looks really good.
Okay.
So now you can go ahead and add accent sprays to the piece, any of the ones that you want. We used burgundy, brown, and gold on ours. Yeah. It would probably look really good.
What do you mean you took it over? Nothing. You didn't take it over.
I just did the wood grain. Should let you do it.
Oh, I'm glad you did. Especially. Huh?
No, this will stay like it is.
Yep.
So the wall epoxy will not flow.
We'll see.
And always spray underneath your piece first, just so you can know what the.
That was stressful.
Okay, so now that you're done, you can honestly leave your tools caked up because we can take that like rubbery piece off and it just breaks out of there. Yep.
Okay, now what?
So now you can take any accent spray color that you want to, and you're gonna completely saturate your whole piece. So up here we used burgundy, gold, and brown. And so when we sand this down, our MDF is gonna stay that red color. But it'll make our aged bronze stand out because we'll cut some of this top off of it.
Like a cedar.
Yep.
That sounds good to me. You guys.
Yeah.
So do you have?
Did you put the burgundy somewhere?
Yeah, it's right over that table.
Oh, there you are.
So you recommend the burgundy first?
Yeah, we did burgundy, and then we went over with the brown and then the gold because the gold's pretty concentrated. Yep, it has green hints underneath it.
Okay.
That burgundy does. Yep, it looks different. It looks like a trans
Yeah, I was surprised. I was
trans
like,
green
it's
color.
like the right color.
Yeah.
Okay, so get it just really spray it good. Right?
Mhm. Yeah, because then when we sand it, it'll show that aged bronze, but it'll also have that red, that red color and the gold in it.
Is that enough?
Yep, that's good. Mm-hmm. I'll probably have them do it after they're done. Yep, leave it all gunked up.
Yeah, because then you can just take it off of that little handle and it just kind of breaks right off. Yep, I use gold, brown, and burgundy, but she's using light turquoise and red copper, I believe.
I put some burgundy in it too.
Is that burgundy? I used that one right there, so I think I just filled that one.
It says burgundy on it.
Probably not as contrasting as that one.
It's translucent green. Oh, yeah. I just sprayed it right there.
No, that's burgundy. It has hints of
Okay, I was like,
green.
okay.
I'm trying not to. I just wanted to have ours off so I could show them.
Yeah, we definitely shouldn't have used this thick ass tape. That was my bad. And then just leave the wood grain look. I mean the MDF.
Yeah, or you can spray it.
Teamwork.
There we are.
And we're gonna show you the other way, probably after lunch, the wood grain as well.
We'll probably do it on that table, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, sure.
I guess what would be kind of cool is if you get to look like rusted, like barnwood.
Yeah, like
With the gray charcoal.
Probably get a little bit more of that with the copper. I have the copper over here if you'd like to try it. Just get that rusted look.
Oh yes, copper.
See what it looks like.
So you're going to spray that in between the grout lines.
Yep.
Oop. Did I get you?
No, you're good.
I do not like how it looks in between grout line tape.
You don't have to do it.
Copper.
Just kind of personal preference. So we went ahead and took off our grout line tape. So after you guys have all your accents and it's sat for a little bit so there's no color running, you can go ahead and pull your tape. Just be careful because anywhere that you get epoxy in the grout line tape, it kind of looks funky. But slowly pull it. You can spray colors afterwards so it makes the grout lines show out more, or you can leave it completely how it is. I think we'll probably leave ours.
Yeah,
how it
I
is.
personally didn't like the accent colors over the MDF grout line tape, but it's up to you. Next
So
time.
if you let it set a little longer, then it less chance of
Yeah.
Yep.
You personally
Yeah.
didn't like what?
When I sprayed the copper and it got inside where the MDF was, I'd probably use thinner grout line tape for sure next time.
Looks more like brick.
I think
Yeah.
you're right.
I mean, it looks cool though.
I think it looks really cool.
Very nice.
I think
Looks
the
like
combination is really
cedar.
Yeah.
Cedar fencing.
Yeah, there's an interesting question on
Okay. What is the question?
oh, I don't know what the mirror sheets are.
Yeah, you always want to.
I would
Nope, you're good. Nope, you're good. Can we quote the wood sheets with epoxy to give it?
could you my obsession to spray it with polyurethane?
I have no idea. We've never done it, like to give it that like glossy look, but
Yeah, I don't know.
we can ask Levi. Good morning.
But obviously, you say you sand these then.
Mhm.
But obviously, we're not going to be able to sand them while we're here.
No, we'll send them to you.
And then we'll sand them at home.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
I love the wood grain. I just don't think the copper patina looks like copper patina. It looks like blue with copper. Barely. Huh? How are you feeling? Not very good. I slept on the bathroom floor.
She's sick too.
I like the wood grain a lot, guys.
Yeah, we just did a 8 bronze base.
Can I borrow this? Oh, sorry. Can I borrow this for my girl? Yeah, we should. Yeah. There you are.
Because it'll add, I like it. It'll add charcoal to everything, right?
Yep.
So this would basically like this will add the rustic look to it.
Yep. And after we sand it, like anything that's on the top of your wood grain pattern is going, like the charcoal is going to disappear because we'll be sanding it, but it'll still be on your ground lines.
So we'll mix the 8 gallons of for the board.
Mm-hmm.
You said to do it out here so it'll come out faster. They're just right there on the cart. If you want to do that out here with them, I'll just go and put some plastic down real quick.
Okay. Yeah. Are they labeled? Yeah.
And it's fine. Why did we not do the actual recipe for it? Was there turquoise in this then?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the light blue and the blue is.
Pour it way too soon then? And
We got it to 95.
yeah, that doesn't matter though. Did we pour the accents too soon?
Too late, I think, and they all mixed in the cup before we poured them out.
Oh, because you only dirty pour? That's pretty uncommon. So usually with the copper patina, you can do a dirty pour for fun, just to have like an extra little look or whatever on the countertop. But usually you're just adding the accents in it and then brushing them or whatever, or torching them. But it's fine. I mean, you can patina panel, and we could try another one this afternoon and try to actually really target copper patina.
I would
say.
like
What? Do we have any more?
This should be plenty.
Okay.
So it won't change, like if you sprayed alcohol and then took your tool and wiped it, it would be fine with either way, whether you pull your tape before or after. But you can actually expose the tops of these grains like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because then it really pops and you see the wood grain. Because right here it looks like it's a good wood grain, but it's very camouflaged. Whereas if you'd have sprayed a lot of alcohol, and we can try to do it here, I might wreck it, but
Here.
So you drag the towel over it just to
yeah. And that's good how tall they made the wood grains like this. What color was your base epoxy?
Aged bronze.
When you're trying to do something like that, would you want like just a really contrasting color underneath so that you can really see it when it pops out? Or on top? Do you know what I'm saying?
What's that?
Like if you're doing it and you really want to expose those to make it look like really pop out, could you just do a really contrasting color either underneath or the accent spray so that it's
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna try to get a more contrasting spray on top. So, color gold or something maybe.
It's on our table.
We've got one, Jamie.
That's not gold.
Here's the regular one.
That's gold. It's just so diluted. Remember, guys, once your stuff gets that diluted, it doesn't matter how much you're spraying. You're gonna wash your pattern out before you ever add enough color. It's those little details that people struggle with on jobs. That's the reason their jobs fail. And they're like, "Well, I sprayed gold." Well, they sprayed it something so diluted they couldn't even get enough on the countertop. So. Yeah, it's not super level, so it's kind of a struggle, but you guys see what I'm trying to do?
real light pressure.
Yeah, I'm just trying to expose the tops of those grains. And then you won't have to wait till the next day to sand if it's. You see how that's forcing those contrasting colors. It's exposing the bonds.
So what he's doing right now is going to be exposing that underneath color.
Can you do that with thinner ones, like for the
It's
rest?
tougher because you can wipe it off. If you go too thin, you really can't do this. And you even have a hard time sanding the next day because you'll so easily sand right through the actual grain. If you ever do sand the next day, it's so tempting to dig your sander in. Don't ever, because you'll just go through it really quick. Whereas if you're just keeping it really flat and working everything linear with the plank, you can kind of, in an organized way, sand everything down to expose that same color underneath. And if you do it that way, it's even a little more crisp than this. So.
It's a real fine line
Thank you.
between too thick and too thin. What do you want to do with it? Does it look like real wood grain or is it sandable?
It's pretty easy once you run a little bit of it. So you start getting a feel for the wood grain tool, how much product you're using, leaving there. So.
Just practice.
Yeah.
How do you figure out how much product it makes? Because we have so much left over.
Like,
Like if you're doing how many square feet, how many ounces, pounds,
I
gallons?
don't know. I think we're never really, honestly, this is just a cool technique that I think could be used a lot on jobs. And I've seen some guys that were very profitable use it, but it's not something I've done the math on. I'm sure that bucket would get you 100 square feet. It's a wall epoxy, so probably 1 to 200 square feet, depending on what you're doing. But you could pour that on top of epoxy. So what I probably normally see is epoxy poured as a base, right? And then you tape your lines on the epoxy. Then you pour, because you don't want to see wood in your tape grout lines, right? You wouldn't normally want to see wood there, which is great. We always do that for samples anyways, so that's fine. But at least then if you pulled your tape, you'd see an epoxy line behind it.
It's kind of like
So
that
then you have
wall or that door.
Yeah, just like there. And then that door we poured countertop epoxy over the top. So, I mean, I think that'd be an awesome countertop to do like that.
So would you ever not do a clear pour over it if you just to leave
Oh
the
yeah,
texture?
you don't have to ever. I mean, it's kind of, I mean, everything we show you is just your preference on what your customer wants.
But they're probably looking for those, like if it's on, if we're putting it on a wall, they might want the texture. If they're wanting it on a countertop, they might want the clear, solid.
I'd say on a countertop, I'd probably try to go talk them into the clear, just especially for durability. It's a lot stronger than the wall epoxy. So,
And so you're not sliding
floor,
stuff
you're
across and
fine,
catching
but I would definitely put a thin coat of something urethane or something down to strengthen it
on the floor.
help protect it. Yeah. I think it looks pretty good, guys. I think all the samples look amazing. The only thing with the copper patina is we lost some of the more patina light colors. So let's just do it again this afternoon. We're gonna pour the conference table, then we're gonna do a wood grain pattern, and then we're gonna do a soapstone or a white marble, whatever you guys prefer. So and then we're gonna cut that table up and ship it to you. So you get an edge profile over these.
Both of them?
Oh.
You cutting both of them up?
No, it's wood grain. I don't know. If you want it, sure. Just a little. That's like a Smurf shit I'm talking about. That is not proper patina. There's copper.
Like your,
Yeah. And there's a blue copper. Still totally.
Right.
Still very light turquoise, right? And isn't if people wanted it. That's fine. We need to probably just adjust it so you get more of. And you guys can choose which copper you want.
Do you need help? Do you guys need help around this workshop?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think we're good.
So I need you to. Let me go first. Okay.
Jamie's going back to the source.
Oh, okay.
Every once in a while.
If you don't seal the copper, you have to keep paying. So, like iron ore.
That only works on the true metal.
Never on the regular epoxy. That's just fake. It's not real copper. You guys gonna go to lunch now?
Yeah, we can.
Do you guys want to pour the table first?
Yep, I got it.
Table? Okay. We'll pour the board.
You said you wanted to mix in here?
Yeah, just
It's 75, the
it's
epoxy.
so cold in there.
Okay.
Are we doing it?
Okay. I don't think so. Because I'm going to have them do this. Okay. Did I?
Because of how comfy and cute you look all the time. I was like, I bought them at Ross, so I ain't wearing Lululemon or whatever.
Yeah, Lululemon.
Yeah.
Okay, so does anyone want to be my guest and be a mixer? Awesome.
so we're doing 4 and 4.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
And this one is A first, then B.
yep. No, B and then A.
This one's harder first?
Yep,
For the countertop? Oh, only the casting is A. and
yep,
B.
yeah.
Are we only doing these, or are we
We're doing,
4 in here and 4 in here?
yep, and then there's other buckets right there, so we can switch.
So this is a different type.
Yep, this is our epoxy, yes, but it's going to be very similar to our countertop.
Okay.
It's the same process, though.
Just a different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sorry, say it again. It's the same as the countertop epoxy, but what?
It's very similar, but this is the art line instead of our countertop.
So it's similar, but what's the...
So this, our Faux Rizzle Nouveau was made, like our art lamp brand, was made for like smaller projects. A lot of people use it on like canvases or tumblers. It's going to be very similar to our countertop product. You can pour countertop with this too. People do it all the time. So it's just kind of personal preference, whichever one you like.
It's made differently.
Yeah.
So it's made without isobenzyl alcohol. It's made to be completely safe for you to breathe in, which our other is no VOCs as well. But this is just formulated.
Yeah. I'm like, yes.
It's a little bit softer than before them. And then additionally, it has
Like
a longer working time. 45 minutes that you would get with your Your countertop, you're gonna get probably about an hour to an hour and a half with this stuff, depending on, you know, adding heat, your starting temp, you know, things like that. It's really, really great for artists who are using a lot of heat or, you know, are pretty slow. Probably want to do differences. Sorry, that was horrible. As far as mixing, I just really want to make sure that it's fully combined. It up just a little bit more because it does have that longer work time. So it's you have to monitor it a little bit more as far as that goes. But and we just been kind of working it with that really big project to show our people that you can do that as well with that Nuvo.
And when you guys are pouring the do is make sure that you are not introducing it to the air since it's clear.
It'd be cool if I just hang out with you guys today on Instagram and Facebook and just answer your questions and take you around and see what I see. Is that cool? All right. Today we're working with Nuvo. We have a huge casting table that we did last week in our conference room. It has acrylic pieces in it. Okay, perfect. And so today we're just mixing up some of this, our art resin Nuvo, and we're gonna lay a whole layer of that on top of that casting table. So it should be really cool. Here in just a second, we'll run in there and show you. I just wanna make sure that you guys see all that mixing process. You can find our art resin Nuvo on artresinforizzle.com if you guys want to check that out. You're welcome. I can see the questions on Instagram, and I'll stick a little bit closer with you guys today so that you can hear everything that's going on. So if you have questions, go ahead and put them on there, and I'll try to answer them the best that I can. And I have a whole team helping me, so it should be fairly accurate. Just making sure that we get part A and part B completely equal and fully combined. We're using our 2-gallon kits here, 1 gallon of part A, 1 gallon of part B. We're going to do that the same as we would do regular countertop. We're going to mix for 3 minutes with our drill. We're going to stick mix for a minute or so, and then we're going to mix for an additional 3 minutes after we switch containers. Again, with all of our resins, that's our recommended mixing time aside from that wall epoxy. With that wall epoxy that we just did with that wood grain, you want to make sure that that is a peanut butter consistency as opposed to that focusing on that mixing time. But with this, you definitely want that 3 minutes scraping and then an additional 3 minutes in a separate container. Our epoxy is not an evaporative epoxy, meaning that if you have any uncured resin, it will not cure up over time. It's going to have to be fully cured. It's going to have to be fully cured like within that 24 hours. Anything that's uncured will not cure. So just keeping that in mind as you're doing your projects. If you can use your 6 minutes in the beginning, it's going to save you a lifetime of problems. So.
Right. Before you come watch, could you go upstairs to talk about the projects that we're going to be doing this week or next week?
Yes, ma'am. Yep.
Oh yeah, they don't dry you out.
They're discussing our nitrile gloves that we use here in class. Those nitrile gloves are going to keep that epoxy from going into your hands, making a big old mess. You can get those Home Depot, Hobby Lobby, box stores, Amazon carries some. And they're just a really great resource in order to be able to keep your hands protected from that epoxy. How many gallons are we mixing up today, Leah? 8 gallons? Perfect. In the other room, Dom is laying plastic down underneath our table so that when we pour, we can protect our epoxy floor that we poured in there, which is absolutely beautiful. I can't wait to show you guys. It's we did sort of a white marbling effect in there with a dirty pour in the middle, and it's stunning. We also have acrylic walls that we put up. We're remodeling that whole front section. So when you come and check out our classes, again, that's on countertopepoxy.com under classes. You can see our front room, everything that we've remodeled in there. We're very, very proud of it. We poured a huge white marble wall. And then we also did some black marbling on the reverse wall where the bathrooms are. And I'm sure that we're going to be doing a lot more fun projects like in the bathrooms and things like that. So you can help us remodel that if you come to our classes. February, March, and April are all ready for you to just sign up and get in here. And again, with that fee, you're going to pay that $199 fee, and then when you come to class and complete the class, you're going to get that all back in product. So it's a win-win-win-win-win. You just, and then additionally on top of that, you get a 25% discount for coming to our classes during that class time. So you can use your credit, and then above that, you can get that discount. So it's such a good program. We take 2 days for beginner and 2 days for advanced for those classes, and we just teach you everything we know about countertop, flooring, and walls. And then these classes are the sample classes. If we haven't talked about this before, or if you haven't tuned in with us before when we were doing that, what we're doing here is we're just going through all of our samples and really giving you more one-on-one time. These classes tend to be a little bit smaller. Eventually they'll build so that there's a lot of people. So the sooner you get in, the better it's going to be, the more one-on-one time you're going to have with our instructors here at Countertop Epoxy. If you haven't come and met Leah and Dom, they're absolutely incredible. They're Levi's right-hand men, and they know almost everything that Levi knows. Well, probably not, because Levi's incredible, but they know quite a bit because they just hear everything every single day. So. Leah always does like, I don't know, but she knows everything. She's awesome. Thanks for tuning in here. Again, if you have any questions, go ahead and pop those up on our Instagram. We are live on our Instagram story, and we're also live on Facebook. I'm sure. do that?
Yeah, mix it for a little. For a tiny bit longer.
Let's red again. Just kidding, if I had it actually plugged in. Hey, Facebook, thanks for tuning in back with me. Give me just a second to get mic'd back up here again. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, but hopefully we can get this worked out and get you guys back on track. Not a lot has happened. I promise you didn't miss much audio-wise. Levi told a story. That was fun. Okay, so, Miss Carla, can you hear me on the mic now?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, Facebook. We're just getting that part A and part B fully combined in that bucket. We're going to go ahead and mix it. Usually we would do 3. We're going to do a little bit additional today. Then we're going to stick mix it, and then we're going to mix it for a little bit more. Leah has epoxy in her hair, so that's not good. Hello, hello. All right, and here in just a minute, we're going to move into that conference room and take a look at that giant casting table that we started with our class next week. That class was completely sold out, and we did have to shut that down. All of the registration for that. So if you want to get into the February class, I would recommend signing up now. That way you can reserve your spot. We do have classes every single month. If you've been tuning in for a minute, you know this, but I can tell you again, we do have that beginner and advanced class every single month. We're starting a samples class just like this one every month, and then occasionally we offer an art class as well, just for fun. She had it in the perfect spot, and then I went and moved it. There we go. You think you'd freak out if I was like, hey, your butt cracks on camera? No, it's not, so don't worry. Oh, man. Oh, guy. We are using Nouveau today, which is one of our art resins. It is our new one that has 0 VOCs. It's made without isobenzyl alcohol, and it's a completely different formula, so it does have a little bit of a different prep, but it works great for art pieces, countertops, whatever you want to use it for. It does have a longer working time, which is phenomenal with that product. You just want to make sure with this stuff that you get it fully super combined, and then it's going to work amazing for you. All right, we did just do that for 5 minutes.
Yep.
And now we're going to go ahead and stick mix that. Right? Yeah, okay. Do we have sticks? And then we are putting it in a separate bucket? Okay. So we'll get those. We were up to 12 at one point on Instagram. Yay! Here's just some clean buckets for you. Yeah, we'll just go with these because they've got glitter on them. Just in case. Instagram, I can see comments. If you want to go ahead and ask any questions on there, we'll try to get with you and answer those for you. You can just keep it in there and then we'll stick mix around it. Yes, ma'am?
We do have a question from Facebook. They're asking if it's food safe.
Say again, I'm sorry. They're asking what? Oh, if it's food safe.
Asking if on Facebook if it's food safe.
All right, all of our epoxies are food safe. Thank you. Yes, they are all food safe. Once it's completely cured, you can do whatever you want on there, and it's completely food safe. So that's exciting, right? You can find more information on our website as far as like temp resistance, scratch resistance, food safe, no VOCs, things like that. We do have a frequently asked questions section, and you can kind of peruse through that and just get a little bit more informed as well. Shaggy Bear, I wish you were closer to us. Just come visit us. Come visit us, take a class. You're not going to be sorry. It's going to be really fun. What?
of his mixer in the same bucket.
In the new bucket? Yeah, I mean, there's a chance that there's unmixed product on it, but then you're gonna mix it up anyway, so it should be fine. Yeah. Oh man, I wish I had Google Translate. Yes, you need to plan it and then come and see us. We have great hotels. If you're looking for a hotel when you're doing our classes, you're gonna look on Horizon Drive or Main Street, and any of those are within a good like radius to us so that we can come and pick you up if you need it. We have excellent restaurants, a decent nightlife. It's pretty fun here. We do have beautiful scenery. The mountains around here are unbelievable. If you haven't been to Colorado and seen the Rocky Mountains, you're in for a treat. There's great hiking, biking, everything here. We have everything. The only thing we don't have is beach, which is sad. We have Highline. That's pretty close to our beach.
We have a lake.
Yeah, it's like a little tiny lake too. It's nothing like,
Yeah, I know.
yeah. We are 4 hours from Denver, Colorado. So if you come and spend 4 days with us, then you can spend the weekend in Denver and then fly back home from Denver. Sounds like a perfect trip to me. All right. Oh, Estes Park is beautiful. I love Estes Park. And they are just stick mixing here, and then they're gonna pour into a separate container and mix for at least 3 more minutes. Again, guys, this is super key in making sure that your product is fully combined. Anytime you're working with resin, this is the best thing that you can do for it. It's just a really good idea every single time. Is it Shaggy Beard? Was I mispronouncing it?
You said shaggy bears.
Well, you know, it's close.
Shaggy.
I'm sorry.
Shaggy bear.
Yeah, dart. Shaggy Bear dart. You don't know, it could be. Jeez, Rachel. Just gonna pull this back a little bit just to make sure that we are in focus. I think here in just a second we're gonna move to that next room. You weren't the only one. Yeah. Just move it to that next room so that you guys can see that conference table pre-pouring. We are letting this get up to temp. Leah, what are we temping this to?
I think we are gonna, I would say probably 90.
Ish, yeah, okay.
Because it is.
Okay, perfect.
Careful, because
They said it's Shaggy Beard art, but Shaggy Bear Dart is their alter ego. Hair in our epoxy. When you lay it out on the table, you can typically see if there's some stuff in there and you can pick it out. As long as you're welcome to just pull that right out. It's really easy to self-level. Anytime we have hair, just burn it in with a torch. We will hit this with a torch after we lay it all on the table just to pop in bubbles as they come and make sure that that top is completely smooth. Keep in mind when you're using your torch that you can burn your really easy. So you just want to be careful with that. It's always guys who go crazy with that torch and light stuff on fire. I'm talking to you. And then, yeah, that's right. And then you're not going to see Betty lighting shit on fire. That's not happening. It's going to be one of you two. You've been doing really good so far, though. I'm like wildly impressed that we don't have, Miss Rachel, we have 2 minutes remaining on our live.
Okay.
That we haven't had any fires.
And then I'll restart it.
Okay. There is burnt epoxy on the top of your countertop. Not pretty. We just saw a couple of pictures of that recently, and it was no bueno. No fun. Oh, somebody said, Betty, I'm so jealous you got to stay for the sample class.
Oh, somebody from last week?
5th revival? 5-hour revival? 5H revival? Guys, I cannot read, apparently. I'm hungry.
Blame it on hunger.
So who is it?
Literate,
That's 5H
apparently.
_ revival.
You got one
Who are you?
Come over and we went from 4 to 800 to keep that super matte. She's letting it run out, and then we're starting a new one.
Nobody won name tags. Yeah, they did the first day. Everybody forgets them after the first day.
What's our temp on that? 78.
Joining us back on here, we'll give you just a minute to come back on.
Have we switched?
Our
yet?
lives like to time out on us. Hello, hello. People always say, like, come on in when they're doing a live. It's so weird, but
Show what they're gonna go to.
yes, absolutely. Rachel, how do I?
I'll trade you if you hold these. I'll take this guy.
No, I get all the shiny cameras. We're gonna come into this room where our large casting table is and show you guys. Yep. She's gonna focus on something other than the floor. I'm gonna let her walk ahead so that you're not just watching me walk, because that's weird. You can watch Levi walk. If you haven't seen our workshop, this is more of our classroom area where we teach our lessons on our smart board. It's Levi's favorite. If you've been to a class, you know what I'm talking about. Thanks, Rachel. Check out our fancy new conference room. Good. And I just stand in that corner.
Just
Okay. I'm gonna stand in this corner and try not to talk too loudly. There's only this big table that echoes a little crazy town. So I have to be a little bit more quiet. Hello, hello. We're about to pour the top of this large casting table that we started last week with our beginner and advanced classes. And it's really cool. It's got some acrylic pieces in there in triangular patterns typically, and then we just cast it around that with like a dark gray color. And it's beautiful. This is all casting, no wood substrate. So we created a form, and then we poured our casting into that form. We started with a layer of our Nouveau product, and then we let it set up a little bit, and we set our acrylic on top of it and let that completely cure. And then we did a couple layers of casting in there, and then now did we flip it? The table clear up the top. Yesterday, Levi came here and routed the edges. Going through and cleaning out any imperfections to make sure that everything is ready to go when we pour that. I did bring the 2 buckets in. We are allowing those to get up to 95 degrees before we pour them on the table. We'll make sure that it's thick enough that when temp? Oh, okay. 80? All right. So he said that we are pouring it a little bit. I'm sorry, at a little lower temp around 80 degrees, just so that we have a little bit in order to get that completely worked into any imperfections places. We did have a couple bubbles. Make sure that we get completely. Hello, hello. Come in. Alec. I know. And then they're going to set those buckets under the table just so that they're not.
Out of our conference room, I have to be thankful.
I'll back to our class last week who built this table for us. We like to drink margaritas while everyone does our work for us. I'm just kidding. Levi would have an aneurysm if there were a bunch of people in here. Help him. Especially with something this large. But that class did a phenomenal job. Hello. I like all the hearts. He was just going on about how amazing the table's gonna be with the acrylic and casting.
The whole surface first. Up, down, I like to get the whole surface flat as possible, like this. And if you notice, I'm kind of running a snowplow down here, pushing the epoxy to the edge.
So he's saying work your complete top first before you get to it. That way you're not booking into it.
See how I kind of stop when I'm done?
He said that he's really snow toward the table, but not over. He's gonna this side, and then at the end he'll do the edges.
If I stop the roller or slow it down too much, it would really sink. If you pull it off, you got a heavy of the surface. So you got, however smooth you pull it.
He's saying that very. So anytime you slow down or stop, it's gonna. He said going smooth, just making sure that you're not dipping in any places. Okay. And it's getting it really even too. That way you don't have high spots or low spots. Make me so, guys. Thank you.
Awesome.
Isn't this table incredible? Do we say?
Yeah, for our product. So.
We did. Is he gonna cover the bottom? Clear coat it? Our new pants. Oh, not yet. Careful. Yeah. I just gave up. I'm like, well.
I am pretty. People start spinning. That's what I love. That I had to turn on.
Is there any way to shut that off? So that when your epoxy drips down over your table, you don't have drip marks. If you see kind of like right there, you got some drip marks down. Go ahead and roll those sides, then it will drip down evenly, and you won't have bunching or weird thicker spots and thinner spots.
52 degrees in there.
So when that air comes out,
So this. Yep, it totally will. It totally there.
He's saying that the ambient temperature of your room really affects your cure time on your. So when it's cooler in this room, we have some air conditioning issues that are blowing right onto the table. It's going to slow that cure down.
It costs about $6,000 a month here. Building up. And then one of your units will kick off and start blowing cold air while the other one's trying to blow.
Oh, that's going to be fun. Blowing out.
I see that.
Is that going to affect that opposite side?
Just gotta figure out how to shut that off. Where's the?
Hopefully working on it.
Have them figure that out.
Yeah.
Just kill this unit.
Hello, hello. Hi guys, thanks for joining us today. We're just doing a clear coat on top of our casting table that we started last week with our beginner and advanced class. We did with that, and now we're just finishing this up for our large conference table in our conference room. If you have any questions, pop them in the comments on Instagram, or we'll get those answered as soon as we can. And if it's on Instagram, good thing there's really smart people. Hello, hello. He's with this, just evenly rolling this coat all the way across and along the sides to make sure that it pours down the sides evenly. And then we're going to let this cure for 24 hours, and it's going to be rock hard. It's just a lint roller. And again, really even coats on those tops. How long will it be before that table is able to be used? We're using our new Art Resin Nouveau, and so it's going to be 30% harder than typical resins in 24 hours. We could use this tomorrow, hypothetically, right?
What's that?
Typically, we say 72 days before you can really use it, and then it full cures at 30 days. So we don't want to set anything heavy on for about.
About 3 days.
Okay. He said be careful with it for about 3 days, and then past that at 30. Helping create that exothermic reaction by adding heat, and he's doing this a bit crazy, and we do not recommend doing this at home. If you want to light your house on fire, light it. But and we trust him to create all the. Anytime you remember that you're curing your product faster, so if you want to after this point, it would be a good idea. You want to make sure everything is done before you add. That spray is isopropyl alcohol. Exactly.
Don't ever do this. Ever.
Don't ever do this. Don't do this. Yeah, make it really warm here. Yeah. Look good. Sorry, I can back. Exactly. For sure. Yeah, me too. I'm surprised your beard is as long as it is. Me too. Coat on the top of that table. Again, it's going to be our this for thick pores. You can use it not like thicker pores, as in just like the table. We recommend anything over a quarter of an inch to costume resin. That does have a longer cure time, so we don't recommend anything if you're not putting making a mold. I love the finish on Nouveau. Absolutely beautiful.
That's a sheet of glass.
Yeah. If you don't know, Nouveau is our new product that we came out. The healthiest resin on the market, made with isopropyl alcohol. It's just a different formula. And it's absolutely incredible. Zero VOC. It's just like the hardness is unreal. It's 30% harder after 24 hours. Scratch resistant is incredible because it is more scratch resistant. It's harder.
It's 30% stronger than our big which is already amazing.
Yeah, and he said it's 30%.
Breathing a bunch of terrible chemicals or
He said.
Even though there's a bunch of bitches that didn't recognize any need for it. It's some of the different chemicals almost every resin has in it, and it just shocks me that people don't know what the chemical care works. I couldn't believe that something that was as durable as it was also three of the biggest known carcinogens and things that cause allergies to epoxy. So.
He was saying that with that Nouveau, there's a call on the market for something that's extremely healthy, that's made without the chemicals that cause allergens and reactions. So he filled that need with Nouveau. Very passionate about Nouveau.
It's a little different than a lot of products to use.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a learning curve every time you if you learn how to use it, there's nothing as clear or smooth as what
He said that the learning curve on Nouveau is a little bit different, just like with any resin. But once you master it, that you're not going to be you're going to be amazed at the clear rock hard finish that you're going to get with this. It's incredible.
I should have sanded that line out, huh, guys?
We recommend just using a torch
Well, that was a learning curve right there. Huh?
that you would.
A lot of square footage.
We recommend a torch that you would get at Lowe's or Home Depot. Cost. You can go online to artresinforrental.com and check out that Nuvo on there. Similar product would be Black Label on Countertop Epoxy. And if you're asking about the cost, it's like and then a lot, and then and have to double it. It's a little bit, but it's pretty. This is our new conference in our room. This is really cool. You can see like the drips coming off of the table, and then there, because the air is, it's sort of blowing it out. He's going through and popping any bubbles that are coming up now. Anything that he missed with making sure that that coat is going to be you overheat epoxy, it can start smoking. Such a glass finish, it's beautiful. Yeah, this is table for this front area and that we've ever made. There's beautiful. Everything's really in this very soft gray, and it's incredible. It's really putting a lot into these front rooms. Good. You want to be torching your edges to make sure that you're not torching product in it.
Now, if you ever see ripples like this and then the epoxy and it stays like that for 2 hours, she'll mix or that's how you did. She really didn't spin it very fast, so it would be better to speed it up constantly. So that product because you have a very unmixed product, of course. These ripples stay. If that's proper ratio, it's going to smooth out really well. This guy. If your product is mixed as an alternative glass.
The important thing is just saying anytime that you have a surface that a long time, that's telling you that you didn't mix your product properly, that you have a product, and so the way to avoid that altogether is just to really make sure that you're combining it fully. He's saying that if their paddles up just a little bit, then it probably would have mixed a little bit better. You don't want to whip it in air, but you do want to get it fast enough to actually fully combine that product. Will you? The good thing about class is you can come in, and we can do tables like this, and if there's a little, thing here and there that we might just learn, like, okay. We'd like to be perfect, but if you're not making mistakes, you're not learning.
He was trying to get a picture of you.
Right?
On that big high profile
love to you guys on this table, but it's pretty sticky in here. So maybe we'll try to do that and do a video of it on Facebook soon. Awkward all here. Hello, hello.
I have no idea where the outside one.
All right. Rachel, will this be on our YouTube page?
Not at all. That's just the
It'll just be on our other platforms, which is
I like that until I
Instagram.
saw the rest.
And so once we post these, you can go back and
I actually wanted
only
just
for
aluminum
a short amount of
because
time. Instagram, they should be there permanently on Facebook.
Perfect. And then you can tune in with us after lunch, and we're going to be doing our wood grain table and our white marble or soapstone. We still haven't decided. I'm sure that decision will be made soon to do on that chiseled edge. So, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate it, and we'll see you guys after lunch.